Hello and welcome to this presentation for Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Okay, so this is going to be looking at some of the context of the book, so when and where it was set. And it was set in 1930s North America, being published in 1937. And the inspiration of the title Of Mice and Men comes from a Robert Burns poem, To a Mouse, written in 1785. And the stanza goes, or part of the four lines goes, "The best laid schemes of mice and men gang after gley, go often wrong, and lee us naught but grief and pain for promised joy." And so Steinbeck's trying to prove here that it's a bleak view, but regardless of your status in society, the dreams you have are never quite certain to be achieved. Now, as I said, Steinbeck set his novel in America during the Great Depression of the 1930s, and so you had economic collapse and also a series of droughts in the country meant that a dust bowl was created, and so families had to move west. Common patterns of migration were going from places like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, across to places like California. And California was seen as very much a golden state of opportunity where there were jobs available, although this wasn't always true. Another of John Steinbeck's novels, The Grapes of Wrath, also cover the same kind of thing of a family travelling across the states. And so there were refugee camps that had to be set up because people moved and either had a very long journey getting there or just simply didn't find work when they were there. There was no system of state relief, so people had to actually beg to try and survive. And of course there was mass unemployment. We had migrant workers or itinerant workers where people had to move from place to place. And that's what happens with George and Lenny as they're travelling right at the start of the book. And the next two pictures just show you some of the things that were facing travelling workers or families moving from state to state. And so, of course, at the start of the novel we meet George and Lenny, who are two itinerant workers, two migrant workers. They're moving from a town called Weed down to Salinas to look for new employment. They're hoping to work up a bit of a stake, some savings, to buy their own farm, and so they're no longer at the mercy of a boss. And really this is what we mean by a theme called the American Dream, where if you work hard you'll be rewarded with money, freedom and independence. But of course what Of Mice and Men asks is that really a dream that can be fulfilled?